Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, so our panel post-lunch, I hope just the way our topic says, data the new oil, the food has been an oil for you, an energy booster in that case. So before I start with my panel, I would request everyone to give a big round of applause for our panelists as well as yourselves. Thank you. So when we talk about data, data is no more a byproduct. It's a core asset in businesses today. And while we talk about it, it definitely helps fuel innovation and intelligent-driven decision-making, as well as, of course, understanding consumer behavior, consumer trends, and so on and so forth. Now, before I move on, so when I believe, according to McKinsey, it estimates that data actually helps businesses 23 times likely more to acquire customers, 6 times more to retain them, and 19 times more to be profitable, actually. So one by one, I will like to start with all of you, starting with Vikram, if I may ask. How does data actually help in how can organizations actually move from collecting data to generating actionable insights for making impactful business decisions?
Yeah, thanks. So the topic, right? Data is the new oil.
Absolutely.
Look, we are talking or we are discussing data is the new oil from maybe last 2-3 years. It is because now we have those systems in place where we can bring out the value from the data which we were not able to do 10-15 years back. At that point in time when we were discussing about data, it was always towards structured data which is coming through RDBMS. That was the case. Now everywhere you see, you can derive value out of data. It can be PDFs, it can be structured data, it can be anything. It can be videos, images, anything, and you can do the analytics. As the world is shaping towards utilizing this data, it becomes a little complex at the same time, basically to change the trend and adapt those solutions. So the basic thing for businesses to take their data and turn into actionable insight is not to keep the technology upfront. It is the business, their key KPIs, what can derive value for them through that data is more important. So you have to align your business stakeholders, your SMEs with your data team to make sure that they are working together and deriving those insights. You have to make sure that they are very well learned about the technologies and the value which technology can bring. Generally in traditional companies, people are resistant to change. We have all seen that, right? But once we see the kind of value which new technologies are bringing, everyone wants to adapt to that, right? There was a keynote where it was discussed when computers came, everyone was scared of it, that it will take their job, or people never wanted to change, right? But right now, everyone is using that and very happy with the value it is providing. It is same with the data technologies as well. So you have to bring in business stakeholders as well as your data team together to get this insights and help businesses generating more revenue.
Mr. Marwah, your take on it, how can we move towards making profitable business decisions by generating actionable insights through data, and especially when we are living in a world of AI as well?
It's a very interesting topic. The similarity between oil and data is both oil is crude and data is raw, and both of them you have to extract it. So if you'll not extract crude from different petroleums, you'll not get the byproduct. Same with data, it's raw. You should know how to extract, what sort of insights are there, and how to use it. As you said, because we are a consumer durable brand and primarily in smart TVs and large home appliances. See, a very interesting and very good insight that you have said, how from data profitability. Earlier, what used to happen about 20 years back, data was there, but it was manual. The the time you collect all the data and analyze that data, it used to take about 6 to 8 months. For us, it's month on month. The moment all the data comes in, and within about 7th or 8th, you know where is your balance sheet going in terms of everything. Because we are a B2C, we manufacture in-house, and we are backward integrated, and then we sell on different portals. All the data that comes in, we know that what sort of costing, BOM, after that operation cost, and then marketing cost, and then returns. If we accumulate and everything within about like it takes about 7 days to collect, and then we know where we stand and what sort of strategy the next month we will be putting in. That's how data has helped in terms of profitability. Second, so because we do a lot of vast business, we do manufacturing, and manufacturing is very vast in terms of where are you going wrong, what sort of steps you need to take, and what sort of enable steps that you need to put in. I know there's a lot of discussion, even I have in different forums about AI, but wherever there is human intervention that is required, I think a lot of things changes in terms of in manufacturing, and a lot of changes are required, keeping when you're a B2C, what sort of market changes are there. Especially, I'll give you 3 examples, starting from manufacturing. So if I produce television and there is some sort of complaints that are coming in, so our data is driven by that. If there is a 4 or 5 complaints of specific same thing happen in one day, then we stop the production of that product, and then we do a deep dive. So that's how we wherever losses are going on, we minimize that, and then whatever problem, it's a software, hardware, or it's a perception issue, we try to figure it out and we replicate that. Second is, after the product is gone, what is the SLA, the operations, because if the month is ending on 31st, and I am taking about 7 to 8 days, 9 days. If my material would have been in 3 to 4 days, my closing would have been better. So we collect which are the locations where the SLA is going from 7 to 10 days, what sort of vehicle is taking time, which of the areas which are taking more time, and then we talk to our freight, our partners, and we try to do everything before 30th. Then the best part, sales. Which are the locations where we need to focus, what sort of trends are changing. Best part is festive. We have different beautiful festive around the country. So if there is Gudi Padwa somewhere, and there is there are some sort of dates which are not good, people don't buy, so we don't focus on that state. Then we'll focus more on Karnataka, Maharashtra, Ganpati is there. So and if in Kerala the Onam is there. So that's how the whole system, the whole data analytics we follow year on year, whatever trends are changing, and that's how with all those learning from data, profitability, and more importantly, I would say for any organization today, most important is expense than profitability. If you don't control your expense through data, that's what we have learned. I think profitability will take a toss.
In this case, if I may ask that, what are some of the challenges? Like, we are talking about data. Definitely data is evidence-based more than intuition-based. Overall, it has real impact. It can show what it is there, what is not there. Now, when companies have moved towards the data-driven way, what are some of the challenges that you've faced in sustaining or building a data-driven organization?
Yeah, thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. Actually, it's really a people. Uh, it's a culture and it's a people thing, right? People don't really ask the right questions, is what we say, right? Because I think it's very easy to focus on the what, right? What is this data telling me, right? So everyone's looking at KPIs, dashboards, but they're not asking the right questions after that. So we, at our organization, what we've done is we follow a certain systematic question way, because people don't come asking those right questions, right? So we start with the what. Of course, that's very important, right? Because you need operational reports. You need to understand what's happening. Has my sales gone up? Has my sales gone down? But really the most important question after that is why. Why did it go up? Why did it go down, right? And then to understand that layer, right? So uncovering is very, very important. So asking questions is really, really important. Now, say you've answered why, right? Because you've understood that, for example, there was some issue in terms of the manufacturing, or there was a product defect which was coming in, so it was leaving bad reviews. The next question which you need to ask is, what will happen next, right? If this continues onwards, right, it'll impact your sales, your word of mouth, your brand reputation, etc., right? So you can understand that these are the implications of, of what is happening. So you keep on diving into the data more and more. Very, very important, right? And then you need to make it actionable, right? So you know, okay, what is going to happen, right? So what is it that you need to do, right? So that forms the entire basis of taking action. And so data, I think, we were just talking about that data is very raw, right? So data is meaningless until you get insights. And insights is meaningless unless you actually make it actionable. So action is really, really the key part that you have to make it actionable. And let's say once you action, you understand that, let's say, what Avneet was just saying, that, okay, we stop manufacturing, we do the root cause analysis, etc. Then, and very most important part is the feedback loop, right? So what is my learning from this, right? So is it that I need to spend more time in terms of looking at quality, in terms of software? So, whenever it gets released, I need to do that. So the learning cycle needs to go back into the loop, right? So therefore, when we look at it, at least as us, as an organization, because we run, loyalty programs, we run product as a service for ourselves and for very large enterprise and clients, it's really, really important to kind of not let data just be data, right? You need to really get into it and understand what is happening behind it. And that's when you get actually actionable insight and be able to do it. I'll give a very simple example, right? Very, very simple example of what, companies, at least used to do normally, and this is way back, taking back to 2003, where people actually used to read books, right? And we had just recently launched a loyalty program for a large retail bookstore chain, right? And they used to have their flagship store in Bombay. And they used to run this large annual campaign where they used to try to go around the neighborhood, right? And to the customers and the residents around that to run this campaign. Those days you didn't have smartphones, you didn't have so much email, and even SMS was very, very limited. And we did a very simple analysis for them, right? We just had started the program. It was running for about 5-6 months. We just looked at the top customer data, right? And we looked at the PIN codes which we had of those customers. And one of the key insights which we got was that the customers actually are not in the vicinity. 75% of the customers were actually living 20 kilometers plus. And then we dug in a little bit more. We understood actually these were people who were commuting to office, right? So the office was in that vicinity, and they were voracious readers who would be buying books and reading on the commute. So we shifted the campaign strategy, told them that, okay, instead of doing this, let's focus on a little bit office, let's run promotions around that and everything else, and we got I think a 700 and 750% return, right? So it's really about asking the right questions, and that's where you really need to begin, and that's what I would say to organizations.
Shri, thank you, Kunal, firstly, but Shri, coming to you, any challenges you'd like to share? How did it feel when you were actually building a data-driven culture in your organization. Anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a bit of stuff has already been said right here. I think the most important thing that we see in the industry is that most enterprises are data rich, insights poor. Right. So there's a lot of data that is being collected by organizations for the past 20 plus years. We're working with some top banks in India and a lot of manufacturing companies as well. And if you're talking about manufacturing, a lot of sensor data keeps coming, machine data keeps coming into the central repository. If you're talking about banks, that are about top banks in India at least have about 150 different applications where customer data, transaction data is getting captured. Now, but I think the insights delivery is very slow. For example, the second or third largest bank in India takes about 7 days to create a unique customer ID. And that is a mandatory requirement from RBI in India. It takes 7 days to allocate a unique customer ID to a person called Shri, because Shri might already exist in the different systems as a credit card holder or a loans, taker, whatever. And in order to validate this existence of Shri already in the system takes about 7 days, and that's unbelievable, right? So how do businesses make decisions when the data is not available to them in real time? That is the biggest challenge that they have. I'm representing a company called GD Data. Our intention is to make sure this data is actually available to businesses in real time when they actually need it, so they can make the right decisions. Because today, there was a time when, not even time now, if you're at home, we all get access to 200 Mbps of internet speed. You go into the work environment, we are struggling with 10 and 20, right? We are so disappointed going into work environment, doing anything productive at work. If we are all again used to Swiggy, Instamarts, and Zeptos and Blinkits, where you can order paneer and it gets delivered in 8 minutes. I wonder why somebody would need paneer in 8 minutes. Why can't they wait or plan a few hours ahead before they start cooking? But that's what we didn't need it. But because somebody decided what we need as a consumer, we started getting used to it. Like Apple decided what we all want and came up with the iPhone, and we can't live without it now. So similarly, I think some of these insights that we are talking about as technology providers, I think we have a responsibility to give customers what they want at the speed of light. Otherwise, it will not get consumed. Right decisions will not be taken. Now, in terms of culture itself, I think like Kunal mentioned, it's a combination of people, process, and technology where, culture eats strategy for breakfast. So if culture is not right in the organization, none of these AI and, data will be implemented or will be successful in most organizations. So I think that is where we see that a lot of businesses, line of business heads, do not want to adopt technology because they're not ready for it, they don't understand it, and hence there is resistance. So you could come up with the most innovative AI technology ever, but it won't be used, which is why 70% of all AI projects fail today, because the adaptability is low. Second thing is trust. Which I think is one of the key topics we should talk about, is the data quality itself and data governance, because without that, AI will not produce the desired outcomes. Predictive analytics will not be right. So I think it's about delivering the trust in the systems that we develop, so that there's a cultural change that happens, or change management happens, so that people start trusting systems that we deploy.
Now, how do you ensure data quality and reliability, especially when you're dealing with disparate sources across functions and operations side sector?
I'll give you one very good example. So last year in consumer durable, air conditioner and air coolers were the fastest growing. So as per data, the CGI was growing about more than 15%, 16%. The reason was the temperatures were highest last year. And the whole country, Bangalore, it didn't rain for 2 months, so that was so bad. So this year, the data predicted, again, it will be a 10% jump. Yesterday, this is the first time in about 100 years that in May, none of the cities were above 40 degrees. Right. Tier 1, Tier 2, in May, mind you. And the day for yesterday, I just landed in Delhi, and it was like Shimla. 26 degrees at about 2 a.m. and wind, and I didn't put on my AC.
We all got lucky yesterday.
Yeah. So, and the data shows it's 16% growth. Everybody had that kind of stocks. And we were supposed to grow, and 50% of the stocks are lying in the market for cooling products. So it's you're talking about trust. So that's when I say that. And apart from that, we got satellite images in April that May will be really hot, and there'll be 1 or 2 showers of thunderstorm. Apart from that, it will be red, but it didn't happen like that. And so there is a lot of uncertainty also with data, that it's not 100% accurate in our case. That next year, as per data, as per how it is growing, things will turn out in this manner. So you have to have a little bit of, as I said before, human intuition and what sort of market trends are happening. That needs to be, and what sort of consumer behavior, and in India especially, for consumer durable, a void of purchase is there. Until and unless your shoe or your TV is completely, you're slapping your TV and it's not, things are not, you'll not buy a new TV. Trust me, it's like that. And that's where, it's very difficult for entry level and mid segment, for almost all consumer durable, to convince the customer. So that's how you need to be very focused, and you need to change your strategy. Now it's not raining wherever central of India is little warmer, so the whole shift is over there. That's how you changes. But yes, you need to trust data, but I don't think so it's always 100% accurate.
Lovely. Vikram, same question for you. How do you ensure data reliability and quality? Like, if we can quickly just...
Absolutely. So, look, quality has to be there in everything which we are doing. So it will apply to our systems as well. What we do in terms of data quality is, whenever we are bringing data from the sources, from the disparate systems to a centralized data warehouse or data lake house, we are making sure that we are doing validations, row count. We are making sure the data which is coming from source, it is tied up on the destination side as well. After that, whenever you are doing all the calculations, there has to be quality checks. So now with the new trends and technologies, like Databricks, you will see medallion architecture. In lake houses, you will see raw layer, silver layer, gold layer, curated layers and all. At every step, you have to check the data. And that's what we are doing. So we have built a product as well as an organization. So Atgeir Solutions is a consulting company. And with that, we have built a data quality suite, which is a product which is powered by generative AI. And then it does all these checks for you. You can create rules in that. It will suggest the rules as well. And then the output which the business is getting, it will make your system sustainable. It will make your system valuable. And the most important thing is, the end users will be trusting these systems. So once you gain the trust of the end user, which is the business users, right? They will automatically feel that this system is bringing value, and then they will start using it more, and they themselves will bring in more use cases. So this becomes a very important aspect of, the data, enterprise-grade data pipelines that we create.
Amazing. I'm getting some really good insights, by the way. Shri, if I come to you, we were earlier also talking about predictive analysis. Now with the rise of predictive analysis, and come on, we are at a tech conference, how can I miss AI on it? And AI, of course, coming up. Earlier also we were talking that, earlier there was computers that was disrupting. Now it's AI, definitely. Now, how do you balance automation with human judgment when it comes to making high decision making?
Okay, very interesting and topical question, because we're talking about AI replacing human jobs, etc., right? So I think somebody recently said that AI will not replace humans. It's if the humans who don't know how to use, or humans who know how to use AI will replace humans who don't know how to use AI. But I think we are seeing that with AI agents and agentic AI, there are a lot of use cases where the mundane repetitive tasks can now be automated using these AI agents. which is a great thing because it massively improves the productivity of the human workforce, which I think all of us should actively embrace. But at the same time, we see that enterprises who want to adopt AI, they're sort of skeptical about their workforce and what will happen to them, and all that. If you're just looking at the balance sheet and profitability, yes, there's a lot of tasks which now can be replaced with agents, agentic AI rather. So our objective at GTT Data, for example, is we've created this concept called dual intelligence, which is about not human versus machine, it's human with machines, right? How do we help organizations thrive in the world of AI? So we have to embrace AI, but then what happens to the human beings? Number one, we have to help them train and give them the knowledge to coexist with humans, because that requires a lot of cultural change, change at the CEO level, CXO level, and so on. And also make sure that the workforce that are now available in excess because of agentic AI, they get repurposed for some other, more creative, more value-adding tasks within the organization. So we run a series of change management program to help organizations achieve this, which is why we call it dual intelligence, where both man and machine can coexist. So I think from a predictive analytics perspective, automation is important, and in fact predictive analytics has been around for a long time, because that we now today calling it as classical AI, and now the next one, the latest, is the Gen AI. But this AI has been around for 15-20 years. Machine learning has always been there. It's just that it's come to it's more so in existence today thanks to Gen AI and ChatGPT. So I think my preference would be for organizations to embrace automation as much as possible. Yes, there will be, today we are talking about repetitive tasks, but in the future there will be, AGI and ASI, where AI will start making those contextual decisions as well. Then we are talking about a larger impact on the society in terms of what will happen to the human workforce. And my sincere worry is what happens to all the engineers that India produces year on year, and where do we fit them into the workforce? That's something that's a topic for debate in itself. But I think it's balancing these two that is important.
Kunal, your concluding thoughts on balancing automation and with human judgment with the rise of predictive analysis?
Yeah, I think it's a hot topic, and it's coming, right? The wave is coming. I think it's really about, as I think she was correctly saying, right? It's making sure that what you can kind of automate to get efficiencies as well as deliver, superior experience, right? Both, let's say, to internal user or to be an external consumer. That's very, very critical. And but still, I would say, at a certain extent, you need to make sure that there is some human intervention, because some of the soft factors are still not right there. I mean, there are multiple cases where we have, we are dealing with high value net worth customers, and there are some soft factors which it's still difficult for the models and for the agents to be able to kind of automate those, right? But yeah, it is going to be, it is coming in, I would say. So we all need to be prepared. We all need to learn, I think, and there are great tools, for us to be able to take that forward. So we should embrace it rather than kind of be putting our door. We need to openly embrace it, is what I would say.
Fabulous, fabulous. Thank you, all dear panelists. Our time was up like a few minutes ago already, but just concluding it, I think I was earlier also speaking about it, that AI, initially when it disrupted, I was also a little skeptical how it will engage, in different industries. But, spending a year and a few months more on it, I actually realized that it is actually an enabler, and not taking human jobs particularly. It can actually help them get more productive at the same time. Thank you so much, all of you, for being a part of the panel. As a journalist, I got multiple headlines, I'm sure, on that. So yes, thank you everyone for being a part of it. And if you can please give them a round of applause.